My favorite thing about comedy is that you can connect to the audience and it's a larger thing. With comedy, it's almost like you can hit everybody's consciousness at the same time. I think stand-up comedy is one of the few art forms that everybody gets it. Even if they hate it, they'll get it. And it's very immediate as well. You don't have to wait to understand something unless it's a long setup, but that's what I like about it. Connecting, I think we all have to do that. Joan Rivers once said that no matter how big you get in comedy, you always got to enter through the kitchen door. Meaning, no matter how big, you can't come in like, you have to earn the audience's love. You have to earn that connection. And I think the big challenge is you might have a string of great shows and be ready for that one crowd that is just not going to get you.
So we're trying to bring a comedy club here to Corpus Christi so you guys can have a good time. We're bringing regional comics from all over Texas down here. So pick up an event, keep posted with Event Comedy Club so you guys know what's going on.
I just think about the stuff and then I'm going to say my bits and all that. If I can see someone else before me go up, you know, see how the audience is reacting to the things and try to go along those lines with my bullshit that I do.
I am a slurrer, so I have to practice my voice and speech a lot to make sure that I'm clear. I have to go over my set because my mind will forget. And I try to glimpse over the audience to see who's out there, so I know who to play with or whatever, and who's out there. You have to know your audience, and if someone is going on before you, it's a good idea to see where they're laughing, what their demographic is. It's just the job.
That's weird to like come to a realization that you want to be a stand-up comedian. I think it just kind of happens after doing stand-up that you then realize that that's what you wanted to do.
I started doing stand-up comedy in 1995 at Stand Up New York in New York, and then I was doing really well, and then I got a great job in Japan to be a choreographer, and I stopped. I came back and I started doing stand-up more like in 2002, 2003, dabbled in it, and then I went back full force.
Online porn is harmful, they say, to the mind. Have you heard this? Online porn is harmful to the mind. I don't agree with that. I think online porn is harmful to the joints, because when I'm done, my hand hurts like a motherfucker.
Here's the thing. When I lived in LA, I was scared to do stand-up comedy. My writing partner and my best friend was a stand-up comedian, but I was scared to do it in LA. But when I came back to Corpus, I was like, oh, I could be the funniest person in Corpus. That's not hard. Because there weren't a lot of stand-up comedians here. And so I started doing stand-up here. And within like 4 months, I had performed in front of like 400 people at the Harbor Playhouse. But it was because there aren't a lot of stand-up comedians here.
Best advice would be hearing bad things from someone who doesn't like your comedy at all. It just makes you work harder and try harder. For me, I believe they're wrong, and I want to try harder than I believe that they're trying by just saying, oh, it just comes naturally. I don't think anything just comes naturally if you want to be better than everyone at it. You got to continue to work hard at it every day.
I don't like to follow the rules. I'm kind of like a bad boy, if you will. I've always been the one to break the rules. I've always been one to do exactly the opposite. I think the best advice I ever got was from the guy who was the host at Stand Up New York. I was doing really well, and the crowd was loving me, so I kept going. And when I got off stage, the guy said, dude, I don't care how funny you are, when you see that light, you get off stage, and I mean now. Because he actually got on stage and he was like, give it up for Jay, that's Bon Estrada. And I was really embarrassed. I was all like, this makes it look like I'm being pulled off stage, and I think I never forgot that. And although I was mad at first, all these years later, I'm like, that was the best advice I got, that even in comedy, there are rules.
I'm glad it's almost Halloween because I live in a bad neighborhood. And like, it's shitty, stuff's broken, and it already looks like it's haunted, and you go, oh, it's decorated, everything's fucking, they really get into it. That's a dead body, but it's just the season, man.
I'm gonna fucking put my gun in your mouth. I've heard that. Then a family threw their shoes at me, why? I don't know. They were really drunk, and they thought that was appropriate, and I was like, fuck you, and I kicked their shoes off the stage because they threw them at me, and that's when they wanted to put the gun in my mouth.
I've never done stand-up sober. I'm not really scared when I go up to do stand-up. My biggest fear, well, right now, it's not a fear. It's just bringing this new comedy club to Corpus Christi, I want it to succeed because I want there to be a source for comedy in Corpus. I stress out about making this succeed, but I don't care whether people find me funny or not because I think I'm funny, and I'm an arrogant bastard. That's why we can do what we do. Is we think we're funny, we think we're awesome, we think we're cool. We're all pretty cool in our own minds. That's why we can do what we do.
I don't know if it's a fear of getting on stage. It's a fear of just every time you get on stage that it doesn't help you at all. So I think it's a fear of just it not being a better experience every time.
Fun. The word fun comes to mind. Light-heartedness. I think there's so much heaviness in the world. I like to paint all of my jokes, and I use the word paint deliberately with fun because a lot of people are looking for that. They come to laugh at a comedy club to escape their lives, you know, if there's something they're running away from. And it's a healthy thing. Laughter is a wonderful thing.
But I do stand-up because I like the people that I do stand-up with. I don't think I'm awesome at it. I think I'm decent at it. But I like hanging out with Christian Thorne and Ben Scheinberg and John Roman and that guy, and Sam Shimura and Jade and everybody. Like I have friends who do stand-up. That's why I do it, because I like these guys who do it, and I have fun hanging out with them.